Wow, that is a super thin runway. All right, let's give this a red hot go, shall we? What's that on the end of the runway as well? There's something, is that an animal?
The wind direction indicator that was unserviceable.
Okay, Zulu's going around runway 17.
So when I told a friend of mine what I'm planning to do in today's video, they flat out laughed at me. So here goes nothing. For some reason, I've always been fascinated by mountain climbing documentaries. Films like Free Solo, The Dawn Wall, The Alpinist. I have huge respect for people who go out and do things like that, but it's something I've never wanted to do personally myself until I discovered there is actually a record-breaking mountain just an hour's flight away from my home airport. So I thought maybe today I can finally summit a mountain for myself and call myself a pilot and a mountaineer. There's just a couple of barriers between me and there, that's all.
Moorabbin terminal information, Papa, expect instrument approach runway 17 left, arrivals in the park.
The first barrier to becoming a mountaineer today is, as you can probably see in front of us, there's some blue sky, sure, but there's also quite a lot of low cloud around. So my hopes to depart Moorabbin visually have been dashed. I've actually had to file an IFR flight plan, instrument flight rules, so I can go through the clouds, but it should be pretty cool punching through the clouds and getting on top of it. Cloud layer is quite thin. I've just got to get through it to get out of Melbourne today. And I should get my clearance whilst we're taxiing, which, as I have discussed on this channel, is one of the hardest things, is to taxi in a straight line whilst you're trying to write down a clearance. So what I do is I've kind of cheated and I've half written down my clearance because I'm sort of expecting it to be something, but you always hope you get to the holding point before you get the clearance, because then you can stop and you can just put your head down and write it down. Ah, birds.
Echo Yankee Zulu, cleared to Wycheproof via Melbourne, flight plan route 6000, squawk 4363, passing 2500, contact departures 129.4.
Echo Yankee Zulu is cleared Wycheproof via Melbourne, planned route 6000, 4363 and 2500, 129.4. Much easier when you stopped. Alright, full power. Temperatures and pressures are all good.
Lima Whiskey X-ray turning downwind, touch and go. Lima Whiskey X-ray number 2.
No, runway left, flaps go away. That was a breezy takeoff. A lot of crosswind from the right there. 500 feet, CAPS is now available, make a right turn. From departures, Echo Yankee Zulu passing 2,700, climbing 6,000.
Echo Yankee Zulu, Melbourne departures, good day, identified.
Okay, Yankee Zulu. And now I just monitor the engine. Got the aircraft climbing on autopilot now, just because I got a bit of weather ahead, and it makes it just a little bit easier for me to focus on my instruments, focus on the engine. So 125 knots indicated airspeed, that's what we're climbing at. You can see here we're climbing at about 800 feet per minute, and doing that in the climb, it's quite expensive in the climb from a fuel point of view, so burning about 26 gallons per hour, but that will come down quite a lot once we actually level off into a little bit of cloud. I think we're just going to skim it. Yeah, to be honest, we're over the tops already. I think we actually punched through a bit of a hole. I still needed to go IFR though, because I wouldn't be able to have the separation from the clouds that I needed to be able to fly VFR legally. So that did require an instrument departure. But you know, when you fly IFR, you want a little bit more time in the clouds just to kind of warrant what you've done. Also, the wings are dirty and I wanted to wash them. Just about to fly over the top of Melbourne International then, which normally is a pretty cool thing to do because you can see the planes taking off and landing below you. But as you can see today, unfortunately, that is our view out of the side window here. Kind of way in the distance over there, don't know whether you can see properly, but those clouds are thinning out because I know for a fact when we get to Wycheproof it's going to be clear skies today. It's just the Melbourne Basin, as usual, just the Melbourne Basin which is cloudy. I'm just looking on flight radar at the traffic around me at the moment. I love this. Look, there's Echo Yankee Zulu, little old me right in the middle, and look at, so you've got this, who's this? United Airlines is off to my right hand side somewhere. Then coming in behind them you've got Shanghai Airlines coming in from Shanghai, taking off in front of me. They just had to hold them a little bit lower just to get around me and then climb up. There's a Qantas 737 heading off to Sydney. Over to sort of my 11 o'clock, just in the distance, there's a Virgin Australia 737 as well. This is the one really cool thing about IFR in controlled airspace, is you can be the tiniest little speck on their screen. Doesn't matter how big you are, you're still important. And you can see on the map here, so see that 2,500, that's the step we're in at the moment. So anything above 2,500 is Class C. We're at 6,000 at the moment, so we're in Class C. The next step here is 3,500, so we'll still be in Class C. The next step after that is 4,500, so we'll still be in Class C. But the one after that, you can see, starts at 8,500, so I've got this waypoint DOTPA, and I know that when I get to DOTPA, my control services will terminate. I'll still be IFR, but it'll be IFR in uncontrolled airspace. And here on the Garmin 650s, what I do is I have two rows here. They basically give me like the same sort of data, but for two different waypoints. The top row is the next waypoint that I'm going to get to, so in this case DOTPA. So you can see it's 15.4 miles, that's the time I'll get there, and it's about just over 5.5 minutes to get there. And the bottom row is the same information, but to my destination, so that's Wycheproof itself. So it's 108 miles to Wycheproof, that's the time I'll get there, and it's going to take us about 41 minutes.
Cancel speed restrictions below 1.
As I talk about Garmin avionics, a drink from my Garmin water bottle. That wasn't intentional. As we forecast, those clouds are coming to an end.
Echo Yankee Zulu shortly leaving controlled airspace. Controlled services terminated. Contact centre on 126.8.
126.8 and control services terminated. Echo Yankee Zulu. The second barrier, we got through the first one now, that IFR departure wasn't too bad. But the second one is Wycheproof. I've never landed at before. It's apparently quite a narrow, it's a narrow gravel strip. It's a long one. It's 1,000 metres long, so it's more than enough for this aircraft. But there is a number that you can call to get information on the aerodrome beforehand. I've tried calling that over the last couple of days, and there was just no answer at all. I don't have an indication of the condition of the airstrip from anyone on the ground. I'm thinking I'm going to cancel IFR when I get closer and just do a low pass of the strip, just to have a look at it and see what condition it's in before committing to land. See what it looks like, then circle round and land again. All right, Milkshake, let's get you all secure, ready to see what the runway's like at Wycheproof. What do you reckon? Do you think we'll make it in? No chance. Thanks. Wycheproof traffic, Echo Yankee Zulu is turning base runway 17 for a low inspection pass of the runway. Wycheproof. Now, the windsock was unserviceable according to the NOTAM for this airport. So I won't have a wind or wind direction indicator to give it its official term. Wycheproof traffic, Echo Yankee Zulu is on final, runway 17 for a low inspection pass, and then we'll be returning for a full stop landing. Wycheproof. Wow, that is a super thin runway. What's that on the end of the runway as well? Is that a tumbleweed? Is that an animal? What is that? It's just a lump of grass. Yep, I think that's doable. Wycheproof traffic, Echo Yankee Zulu is turning final, runway 17, full stop. Wycheproof. Speed is good, power is good, committing to the landing. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it worked.
If I'm not mistaken, over here, that's where we're going to today. This is where I no longer am just a pilot, I become a pilot and a mountaineer. I didn't pump the tyres up. You remember I was saying the wind direction indicator, the windsock at the airport was unserviceable? I can see why they said that now. Broken. Hot tip, if you want to come to Wycheproof Airport, go to the toilet before you arrive. I think this is the, that's supposed to go in there. There, fixed. Over there is what is officially known as, according to the internet, the world's shortest mountain. I thought that'd be more impressive when I said it. You may ask yourself, well, hang on a minute, what constitutes a mountain? And unfortunately, the answer is not very fulfilling. It used to be said that a mountain could only be classed as a mountain if its highest peak was higher than 1,000 feet than the surrounding terrain. Now, Mount Wycheproof rises to a dramatic 42 meters above the surrounding terrain, but there is no official, like, internationally recognized definition of mountain. So for all intents and purposes, this will be me achieving a lifelong goal of being able to call myself a mountaineer. Oh, look, sea proof, world's smallest mountain. Got to keep my fluids up for the big climb. Look, Mount Wycheproof, Mount, not hill Wycheproof, Mount Wycheproof. Look out! Okay, nearly there. Yes! No! Actually, that's not the summit of Mount Wycheproof. That's just a quick place to have a stop and a drink because the road continues. Guys, we're almost there. We've almost done it. I see the summit. Sherpa Tenzing, Edmund Hillary. There it is. The fun thing is, I'll try and zoom in and see if you can see it. I can see the plane from here. I've been a pilot for about 17 years now, and I've been a mountaineer for about 4 minutes, and I'm not sure which one makes me feel more proud. I mean, I love to fly, it gives me a great sense of achievement, but there's just something about being an official mountaineer that just, I don't know, it really humbles you as a human being. It really puts everything into perspective. This was such a weird video idea. Ever since that trip that shall not be mentioned, you know, I was going to fly around the world a couple of years ago and it got cancelled because of COVID and then the Russia-Ukraine conflict. There were lots of reasons. I got a little bit down about it, but since that point I've started realising that it's the smaller adventures in life added up which actually equal a lot more than trying to just wait and doing one big adventure. I guess what I'm trying to say is just make the most of every day, embrace the small things in life, embrace what's in front of you, and enjoy the moment that you're living in at the moment. For me, this was like a 60-minute flight, a short cycle ride up to the top of this hill. I'll be back home by lunchtime, but still, this was a really fun memory for me, and I can always say now that I am an official mountaineer, as you all have attested to. I'm going to update my Instagram bio to say mountaineer. Big love to you all. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you in my next crazy video. It's a kangaroo.